Hey folks, so this week, as you can see from my background, I'm recording this from SaaSta Annual in San Mateo. This is super awkward with all the people around me. But essentially I wanted to chat a little bit about these two differentiation strategies, so product differentiation strategies, the vertical one and the horizontal one. So vertical is typically when you're trying to differentiate with pricing or features, and horizontal is when you're going the extra mile to try to differentiate with the value and emotional impact that you're making on your customer. So thing here kind of makes me think about this a lot more than usual, because there are so many companies here that are having their booths, super expensive booths, and a lot of them are SaaS subscription management companies, like financial management companies for SaaS businesses. And honestly, they all kind of seem the same to me. Like, I'm not able to remember like the tiny differences. Or there was this competitor of Notion. We're using Notion. It's called Coda. And I literally asked two people from their booth, like, what is the difference between you and Notion? And they told me a couple of these little differences in terms of features. And honestly, after today's, I don't even remember that anymore. What I typically do remember is how I felt when I was using a product when I'm doing the free trial. So, that's the example of how horizontal and vertical differentiation are different. It's again aligned with human psychology, because we remember memories, events, that had an emotional impact, that evoked an emotional reaction from us a lot better than just pure facts and information. So think about it, and think about this guacamole analogy that I mentioned in the email below as well. So essentially, a couple of years ago, I went to a burger place with a couple of my friends, and the friend in front of me in the line was ordering a guacamole burger, and I wanted the same but a vegan version. It wasn't on the menu, but I just asked them, could you put some guacamole on my vegan burger? And I was willing to pay more for it, of course. But then they just said no, plain no. I'm like, oh, why? They said, well, it's not in the system, so they couldn't do it. And I was so surprised, because, like, how much effort does it take to really put a spoon of guacamole on a vegan burger, even if it's not on the menu? So that kind of illustrates what some SaaS companies do, where they just stick to their plans when they want to go the extra mile for their customers or prospects to actually showcase the value of their product. Then obviously this has the opposite impact of this positive emotional reaction that you want to achieve by differentiating yourself horizontally rather than just vertically. Because let's face it, everyone can, if you've built certain features, it means that your competitors can build them as well, especially if they kind of get more funding than you and they outfund you, and they can even attack you more aggressively with a very aggressive pricing strategy. So, again, competing with pricing, competing with features, differentiating yourself just vertically is very short-sighted, because if you have done it, everyone else can do it. It really requires a lot of R&D and a lot of proprietary IP to be able to compete with features that no one else can replicate these days. So again, thinking about these horizontal tactics that sometimes may require you to draw outside the line and think outside the box is, in my opinion, a lot more effective. And I'm thinking, looking at the booths here, how much the companies are spending on, for instance, marketing, on stash, on company swag, and then they say they can't do certain things for their customers or even prospects because it's not profitable. And I'm thinking, how does that add up, right? If you're spending $100,000 in 2 days on a booth at SaaSta Annual, with all due respect, but you can't spend the extra half an hour per prospect on like helping them set up the trial the right way, like how is this supposed to work for you? So guys, I urge you to think about this expense as an investment that may have a much higher ROI than, like, say, going to conferences. And I'm saying this being at a conference, right? That makes a lot of sense. Well, but I'm not exhibiting, right? I'm just here on holiday. Yeah, let me know what you think about that. Hopefully see you next week. And if you're still on SaaStr or in San Francisco on Thursday, give me a shout. I'm flying out tonight, but tomorrow's Thursday, but you're watching this on Thursday. Anyway, give me a shout and hopefully we can catch a quick coffee. Looking forward to seeing you all next week. Bye.